All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello. We are actually in the lobby now. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division Qualifier number 1. I realize I'm peaking a little bit. Let's fix that. There we go. That should hopefully be sounding all good in your ear holes. So, we're getting ready, we're rolling everybody into the lobby already. So before we start, once again, these teams today are competing for a chance to qualify for the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division, an online league format where they will be competing for their share of the prize pool, which is crowdfunded via the Match Arena League, which I forgot to put in the chat. I will work on that in a second, but if not, check out the Nexus Gaming Series Twitter, which is just, I believe, Nexus Series? Let's double check that. It is Nexus Series. Nexus_series. Sounds good. But let's talk about everything that we need to get going before we roll in. So first, let's have a look at the bracket as we head in. We have, at the top, you can see we are jumping into Seed 4 versus Seed 13. This is going to be Quaranteam versus Spooky Ghosts. This will be our first matchup for the day. Winner of that will take on We Take These versus Team Ripers, which we're going to be very careful how we pronounce. And that is going to be our first matchup and second matchup of the day, and then we'll be not casting tomorrow because that has been limited to the mainstream and we are not covering that. But I'll see if I can get my hands on replays. I don't know the rules about that yet. So, this is our bracket. As you can see here, we got some great teams in here. We got Regen, we got Team Alexander, which is Lockdown from old HGC Careers team. We got CPOGX Fan Club, aka the champions from Heroic Division. And we have some fun teams going on here. But once again, we're starting with Quaranteam, who I believe came second in Heroic. Am I wrong there? I'm not sure. Either way, oops. I typed the wrong thing. Either way, let's have a look at the maps. Let's have a look where we are going in this first series of the day. As you can see here, we started off with the bans of one of those bans is missing. What's happened here? Which one hasn't banned correctly? Oh, I see. Braxis has sort of banned, but not really. Hang on, quick swap, quick swap. See if we can fix it. There we go, we fixed it. Alright. So Alterac Pass was banned out by Quaranteam, as was the Braxis holdout. Weedus, thank you for the sub. Very appreciated. There we go. Move that to where it's not in the way. And for the 69 bits.
Tetcher.
Thank you very much, Weedus. Very appreciated. So, once again, Alterac Pass, and we had the Braxis holdout banned away as our bans from Quaranteam. And we have Spooky Ghosts banning out Sky Temple and Towers of Doom as their bans. And then, as because it's broken again, we're just going to quickly fix that. There we go. The first pick, chosen by Spooky Ghosts, is going to be Cursed Hollow, meaning Quaranteam have opted for first pick and first ban. And not to waste any of your time, we're going to make our way into that draft. This is the first game of the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. Let's get this underway. So, once again, Quaranteam with the first pick, first ban. And we are going to be rolling. Spooky Ghosts, they are a Division B team, which is actually why I chose this game, because I believe in magic, and as such, we are going to believe in the Spooky Ghosts. They are 100% the underdogs in this series, but Quaranteam are so scary to deal with, and I'm really excited to see them play. It's going to be a good test to see if they are on form, because the winner of each qualifier qualifies for Storm Division. The rest have to earn points. So no matter what, Quaranteam, they need to try and make their way through. They're going to be one of the teams who a lot of people are expecting to make it into Storm Division. But Spooky Ghosts, they have their backs up against the wall starting due to the fact that they are from a lower division. There's going to be a lot of expectations from people that they might not do so well, but we are here just to see. We're here to find out if they have what it takes and if they can show us that potential to maybe make it into Storm Division. We have bans-wise Zool and Abatha, which are very sensible bans from Spooky Ghosts, very powerful here. But big map here, Quaranteam, the Vikings have snuck their way through, and as such, they have been busted out. That heavy macro style has already appeared. And also there is a one-shot build from the Vikings, which is pretty terrifying. But Quaranteam, they have put themselves in a position where they're showing they want to really control the game. They've also banned out Karazim and Zul'jin, both heroes who would benefit from this. Here's the counter though. Global hero, the Falstad, coming in to try and control the map itself and give them some counter soak. Hammer and Morales. This is a push build, and the idea here is to put a Viking in every single lane and then have Hammer push the bottom lane. So sorry, it will be 2 Vikings in one lane and then a single Hammer, Morales, and everyone else most likely in the other lanes to hard push. And there's going to be very little way for Spooky Ghost to really deal with this. The expected way on some maps would be to double soak, but this is a big map, making it very, very difficult to do so. Hammer and Morales is so hard to deal with, as we're going to see ETC banned away here. Very sensible, good peeling tank. Would be would make it a little bit more difficult for them to get onto that Sergeant Hammer, which is already going to be incredibly difficult. So how are they going to deal with this? There are 2 methods to deal with this. They ban the Tyrael. Tyrael will be very sensible. That's a dive and then make everyone invulnerable, making it very hard for Hammer to actually take a reasonable fight here. So there are 2 ways to deal with this. You can either play for a dive or pick comp, like a Stitches, but Siege Tactics does make that harder. A dive comp to try and just get onto Hammer and just try and win the 4v4 and try and prevent that push from happening. Or you can go for a counter push composition yourself, where you pick up something like a Sylvanas and you just try and race the enemy base. This is a really cool idea here, because now with Li Ming showing us the second damage dealer, they know that Gal and Cho aren't going to be as hard. They know Gal and Cho are going to be a lot safer, because now all they have to worry about is a Leoric or a Malthael as the off lane, which could really give them that percentage damage risk here. And I do quite like that. It's a very sensible pickup here, because their 4-man is now going to be really, really hard to deal with, because they have the D push. Not even going to go for the Leoric or the Malthael here. Going to bring out the Sonya for Spooky Ghost. Now, Sonya's an interesting one, because she's going to lose Whirlwind value here, because there's going to be less bodies. You might think she might gain some from the Vikings, but you really won't, because you're very rarely going to be fighting more than 1 Viking, because they're going to be split most of the game. So the Sonya's a risky pick here. She does have percentage damage, but it comes in a lot later. Right now, the only percentage damage comes from Ana 7 and from Falstad's level 13. So it's a risky composition coming in here from Spooky Ghosts. But they do, again, have that split push potential. Sonya's going to be able to deep push a Viking very easily, and Falstad with that global potential has some good value. Li Ming into Hammer isn't so bad. The problem is now there's a cho'gall, which is a huge body to interpose itself in between that Li Ming and that Sergeant Hammer. This is a meme strat 100% from Quaranteam, but the fact is it should work. It has the value, it has all the potential needed to get really good value. So my faith is very much leaning at the moment towards Quaranteam, but the wombo potential, the snowball potential of Nano Boost Li Ming, while Falstad, if he can keep them up in experience, will be able to get them a lot of value here. The snowball potential is good, but they've got to make it work. We'll find out if they're able to as we head into game number 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side, it is going to be Quaranteam, and playing for them, we have Jackerbon, going to be playing the cho'gall, which is, of course, Jachuggy and Carbon playing on that cho'gall. We have Cookie Man in bottom, mid, and top lane, playing the Lost Vikings. We have Weary Day on Lieutenant Morales, and Unaverted playing the Sergeant Hammer. Whereas on the right-hand side, hailing from Division B, we have Always Loses on the Sonya. Great name. We have Collidus playing the Falstad, and the 3-man bot lane, which is where they expect the Hammer to go, is going to be Rogoff. It is going to be Little Wolf, and it is going to be Eric with a K. Going to be playing on the Johanna, the Ana, and the Li Ming, respectively. Immediately, the show up in top lane, Hammer Sieges. Weary Day is going to tank a couple shots here. Very risky, but is going to take it. Sonya realizes that she is in the wrong lane, because this is going to suck. Did she go for block? Yes, she did. Tough as nails. Coming in level 1, that will help. And cho'gall gonna be soloing here. Usually you'd see cho'gall with support in the same way you'd see this Hammer at this stage of the game, but instead cho'gall is gonna try and self-sustain, and we see him, the Will of Cho here. Extra armor for each enemy minion kill, which is a lot of long-term potential, and we see the Taskmaster get that shove cooldown, easier way to dodge the Li Ming. Rogoff helping them clear out the lane faster to Wolf. Not dodging the bomb here. They gotta be careful, as we do see a sprint happening because Balog has been forced back out of lane. He definitely has the hardest job here because Volskaya will straight up murder him. The entire front wall has been absolutely wrecked up here in this top lane. The spear comes out and Hammer gives absolutely zero cares, as right now Cookie Man is going hard onto Always Loses. Weary Day gets a couple shots as well. Has gone for life support here. Going for energy on Safeguard. Now that's a weird pick. Balog has died. cho'gall's getting shot to death. Eric gonna go and take over from Balog here, but might suffer here. Colodius is in position. Kolidos, not enough for the kill. But Cookie Man will keep getting XP for his team, but that kill means that Volskaya got an extra stack here. Olaf has died. He stayed too long and has perished. He will go down here, but so will this fort. This is undefendable from Sonya, who's gone for Whirlwind. Hurricane coming in here. Very, very risky here, going for that Hurricane at level 4, whereas a lot of people would expect a more smash-based build for percentage damage later on. But yeah, we have, once again, we mentioned earlier, that life support gonna be pretty decent if all of the damage is focused onto cho'gall or onto Sergeant Hammer. You always know who's going to be targeted. The potential value here is actually pretty funny. That's honestly kind of a clutch choice. It's like playing the it's like playing Emphatic Link on Ariel to really turn that value on its head and get some effectiveness out of that. Look at the amount we don't see Safeguard coming in here because these are neutrals and they can just tank this easily enough, and they'll get the energy back with the passive soak. All 3 Vikings coming to hang out in top lane. What is soak? Why would I need it? Who told you you needed it? They're just gonna not go and get it. They're grabbing the mercenary camp. cho'gall is staying bot right now to deal with the siege giants because they don't want to deal with Hammer. And I think the tactic here is to delay with all 3 Vikings, but it's not working because the objective is picked up. Cookie Man backs away. Mid-soak has been completely abandoned. No one's coming for that. Right now, Olaf is on the way, but he's going to be late. Olaf needs to be very careful there. They will back out there. Hammer has finally rotated down to bot lane, and this time is joined by cho'gall, who is going to hang out here. Currently up to 39 stacks here. Every 30 stack of Will of Cho is at 1 armor. So currently has 1 extra armor coming in here. See how that goes. We see Eric the Swift, standard talent here. Could allow Eric a lot of value. They 1v1 Volskaya and force him back, and that is the power of Vikings. This is something they can legitimately do. Spin to win being taken here. Volskaya has gone for PvE here. Let's check on him. We can't check on him that way. I believe we can check on him this way. Yes, we can. That is 11 stacks coming in here. I don't know how to get rid of that. That's just going to live there for a while. Also, you guys can't really see it. Fixed it. There we go. Alrighty. Currently, Volskaya is being absolutely bullied. He is having a rough time. It's 2 Vikings here who are, again, just going for it. Colidus was thinking about it, winded up the fist, but gets shoved away. Carbon's like, no, what are you doing? Why would you do this? Hover Siege is active, which means bot lane is on notice, going to be absolutely bullied and focused down. cho'gall's coming down to contest second objective. It looks like they are actually going to try and contest this one. They have Balog up in top lane to counter Soak. Sleep Dart comes out, but immediately woken up as Jackrabon going to chase down Little Wolf, force him off the point. We see a Triumvirate coming in. Li Ming looking for some interrupt. Volskaya has arrived, but no one is interrupting Cookie Man. No one can get close enough. They're going to try and take out cho'gall, though. That's a 2-for-1 in terms of kills. Look at the energy, but no healing. Weary Day losing the tether there for a second as Jackrabon, the sustain from Morales. Too much here. We have Vandium plating that extra armor on stun targets. Sonya using the most of that burst value to take out a kill up in top lane, get a Viking down, unaverted. Caring very, very little for Rogoff's interception attempt, which means bot lane is once again going to perish. And mid lane, not looking the healthiest, will probably join relatively shortly. But even so, even though they're about to take their second fort, they're only 1 level ahead and there have been no kills. That's not the worst situation. It's pretty expected for how far we are into the game right now. They're not going to be like 3 levels ahead at this stage. But this is still a comeback that can be made by Spooky Ghost. They just need to actually start taking these objective fights and actually start winning them. Mid-fort's going to die as well. That's where we're going to start to see the levels really start to snowball out of control. Always loses. Forced off the point here. Takes a lot of damage, actually. This is not looking good. Down goes the fort. Going to die to a single Archer minion arrow to finish the job. Balog channeling will be interrupted by Rogoff here, but cho'gall's going to come in and just punch Johanna till she leaves. Gone for, of course, that Hammer of Twilight. Upheaval would be decent, but they're not actually looking for fights. This is a disengaged talent, which will protect Hammer. We do, however, have the big engaged talent here with Twisting Nether. Olaf has died. Yeah, it's a very melee-heavy cho'gall here. They want to get stuck in, really gain the value there. They currently have 2 extra armor on their stacks. Looking good. Here's the roll-in. Classic 2 armor. As they are going to take down the boss. Can have him make it? Nope. Stunned out. Healed up, though, not an issue. Bruisercamp being traded for this. I don't think they know the boss is happening. Look at the aggression here. Leap coming in from the Sonya. This is really a reactionary tool to the playstyle of Quaranteam, where they're intending to try and contest and bully out. I mean, for starters, I respect the aggression, but that's an 80-second, that's a 60-second cooldown. It's actually shorter than I expected, but I'm going to argue a 60-second cooldown for a Viking is not worth. That Viking is back in 5 seconds now. Leaps back in another 35. I'm going to call that not worth. Eric with a K. He disintegrates. He gets killed off, though. Focused down. The Sleep Dart could have maybe saved him, but he wasn't able to get out of there. As right now, Boss is pushing in hard. Johanna comes in. The body blocks are real here. Hammer of Cthulhu comes out. There's the Gust, though. And Rogoff is out. Olaf is dead. And they're gonna hold this. Sleep Dart comes out. The Keep will survive the Boss, but Hammer... Oh, she coming. Oh, she coming. She crawling up, as we do see Rogoff coming in here. Siege Tactics was burned there. As Jackerbon moves in to protect Unaverted, who's been stim thrown. It's the PvE, and even with it activated, the curse is gonna come in. They snuck the curse from a Viking while this was happening, meaning they can now just focus the Keep. Here comes the nano boost. Unaverted is the target, but Li Ming using her entire combo, unable to focus anyone down. We're gonna see the focus continuing onto that Keep. And again, they're not diving. They don't have Sonya with them, meaning they can't actually make the play. They went for the Blessed Shield, and they're not using it. Not wanting to make the play yet, and they're just going to lose this Keep. This Keep will go down. Right now, the focus appears to have moved onto other lanes to make it so that they lose at least only 1 Keep instead of 2. They're going to kill off another Viking. Good job picking off Eric there. Bottom Keep goes down. Jackerbond actually going to be focused down quite a bit here. Sonya does arrive. Sleep Dart, focus, Molten Block, Twisting Nether. Going to try and turn it round. They send out a couple shots, but Weary Day, the healing output, just too much here. Kolidos, gonna try and focus down Cookie Man on that Olaf. Will succeed in doing so, picks up another kill. That's more bribe stacks for Kolidos. Really picking up quite a few of those. Looking decent for the moment. So level 13 is finally hit by Spooky Ghost. Quaranteam, though, they are about to hit level 16, half a level away. And that's where we're really starting to see struggling here. We see Giant Killer coming in for Sergeant Hammer. That's gonna help a little bit, but this cho'gall so far does not seem to care that much. There's Nordic Attack Squad. This is the burst Viking. This is a little bit of extra burst on the Vikings. It's a sneaky talent. You don't see it very often. No one's on the point. Leap! The backdoor attempt. Gust! They get the bus! They stole it! They're going to try and move in. They got the reset on Balog. Second reset as Olaf is taken out as Unaverted is boosting away. They look for Jackerbond. Disintegrate. BFG doesn't hit Eric with a K. He backed up. And with Rogoff too low. And currently murder push in bot lane, except for this lad here, poor guy. They are just taking it down. They get Eric as well. Gonna port back to base. Guys, they're finally gonna make everyone come in here. Johanna will port back, and they do take core damage, but they stole the boss. They killed all 3 Vikings. Of course, they would have liked other kills, but that's still comeback experience coming their way. And more importantly, map control. There are now 3 bodies on the map. They're gonna start to respawn, but the actual D-push potential, I wouldn't have minded if they sent Falstab bot lane instead of top, because bot lane is the one that is the immediate danger. But I guess that's just going to keep pushing up so we can do it a lot safer. But either way, they can now pretty safely soak until level 16 here. going to put them back on close to even footing. And with no threat of a curse coming in here, they can even give up this tribute. They do have to leave with Volskaya, like, right now. That speed boost. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yep. The Morales gets the kill. And yeah, that was staying too long. Nordic attack squad coming in here. You can see Always Losers. If he didn't have reinforcements there, that would have been a perishing from Always Losers. We have the extra healing first responder coming in for Morales. This is all in on keeping Hammer and keeping cho'gall alive. We see Garb with the Shadow Snare here. This big slow play coming in. And we have the Runic Blast cooldown reduction. Very nice to see. Mid keep, absolutely bodied. No one's going to be able to stop that. They're down Volskaya. They don't have the disengage, so they can't risk the engage. That's just dead. But there's level 16. If they'd been able to keep Volskaya alive, they would have had 16 and been able to make a counter play. But in this case, they do lose a second keep. There is a Sea Shine in top lane. Viking split push with the nice little sneaky cap there. And now, they're on even talents for the first time in a very, very long time. Spooky Ghosts are in a position where they can try and make something happen. Wingman, used by Kalidus there. Leap has to be burned to prevent anyone from being picked off there. Sonya, 60-second cooldown being used. She is going to be needed in top lane to de-push this. But right now, the pressure being shown in bot lane, but they're not going to do anything with this yet. There's not really any reason for Quaranteam to be anywhere other than on bosses or pushing top lane right now, because they can't risk going for core of a Li Ming, at least yet. Especially with Vikings on the board, giving them potential resets. They're in a much better position where they can, like we can see here, just burn Stim Drone to take the boss. And that's going to give enough of a distraction that they can move top lane and get the last keep. And that's going to be a close to checkmate position. Or they can try and use the boss to make the play into bot lane. And it looks like that is going to be the play of choice here. Vikings being sent off to go do a wraparound play, see if they can grab someone here. Maybe push middle a bit, get more catapult pressure. Reset. Nicely done, Eric with a K. Of course, there is currently play again, so the Vikings can come back. That's exactly what's going to be done here, so all the Vikings are going to be here. In fact, no. Vikings, they sent Eric up to grab the tribute, which means he will not be here for this D-push. And they have got to start doing damage to this boss, because right now, that's a full health boss with everyone here. There's Gus. That's going to give him a lot of time to focus this. Uh-oh. Sonya caught in the boss route. Slowed by cho'gall. Twisting Nether. Pop. No! Leap! The blessed shield to save the day. But the core is taking damage. Boss on a half health, and Jacobon is being uncontested. They need to focus the boss, but that's leaving cho'gall without taking any damage. Hammer is untouched right now. There's the curse. We are going to see the focus onto Rogoff. The boss is down. Disintegrate! It gets the kill! Reset with nano boost on Li Ming, but Largen in charge from Olaf is going to take him down, meaning it's up to Kolinos as the Vikings roll in. Always Loses, forced to back away. Largen in charge, picks up the kill, and Hammer will be uncontested as game number 1 of this best of 3 will go over to Quaranteam. Nicely done by Quaranteam, able to pick up the first game of this best of 3 series. And while it might not be too surprising, we do still believe in Spooky Ghost for the potential comeback, but the higher seed coming in here, Quaranteam are in a position to try and make their way on further right now. It's a very solid pickup here. They played a macro style, and while there were moments of brilliance in the end, 5 kills to 5, a 10-kill total game. In the end, though, there was no one who got onto Hammer. You can see Cho and Gal died once due to that nano boost at the end from Li Ming. The Vikings died quite a few times, but the main part of the composition, Sergeant Hammer and Morales were untouched. Yes, they didn't get as much damage as cho'gall did total, But the siege damage is where it starts to stand out. 93,000 on Sergeant Hammer, and Morales just did not die and got 20,000 more healing than Ana. And that's where you see the real value there. The fact that Hammer and Morales weren't targeted and weren't killed, and that is exactly what that comp was all about. That is the entire purpose of it, and it was very successful in doing so. Very nicely done. Good job. That is game number 1. Going over to Quaranteam. Let's have a look at some of the talents here. And again, let's talk about this. Life support coming in here for the Morales. The idea here is to gain value, similar to an emphatic link from Ariel, from the cho'gall, who is the big target, or the Sergeant Hammer, who is the big target. It's a very rare talent, but it means that Morales didn't actually have to step up as much that you would have to do normally with the auto-attack talent at level 1, which, yes, gives you extra range on your auto-attacks, but makes it a little bit more risky. Makes you have to get a lot more stuck in for a longer fight when you are trying to keep that energy up. Whereas life support, you spam it out as best as possible and try and keep that energy up that way by hoping your cho'gall gets hit, and it was successful. Morales, as we mentioned, had huge healing output. A lot of that also was to do with first responder, getting an extra 25% healing while above 60 energy, which, combined with life support, was very effective. And of course, we had that increased duration of the safeguard with vanadium plating, which was really able to get maximum healing output very nicely. I didn't see how many stacks we had at the end for the Will of Cho, but it was a cool talent. We had a little, like 3 extra armor at one point. I think it might have got to 4 at the end. Weird talent. Don't see it very often, but it's pretty decent. Every bit of armor helps, especially when you're trying to just sustain your way through. Combine that with Ogre Hide and the Safeguard, meaning you have a very armored up Cho, with the only percentage damage in the game being Giant Killer. There is a Giant Slayer talent on 13 or 16 for Sonya, but it was not picked up here. Very cool to see. So I'm just waiting for a lobby to appear in my chat, and there it is. Alrighty. But yeah, cool ideas here. I do like the Falsa, by the way, went for Updraft and went for Afterburner, trying to stay away from cho'gall, and also the ability to dive Hammer if needed. Cool idea, getting that little bit of extra shield. That 60% bonus shield is pretty beastly, and combining that with Afterburner meant that they had a monstrous rotational ability to move around the map, and also the ability to escape cho'gall effectively. And you can kind of see that in the deaths there. Only 1 death for Falstad compared to Li Ming, who was of course the focus, and did get picked off. Alrighty, let me jump into the map, which I'm going to assume was probably picked up by, let's have a look. Right now it's coin toss, but I'm going to assume that it was picked by Quaranteam, if I had to guess. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. I guess not. It looks like, yeah. It looks like Spooky Ghosts may have picked the map by the looks of it. I'll change this if it proves to be incorrect. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading to our next map, which is going to be Volskaya Foundry, which, by the looks of it, was selected by Spooky Ghosts, meaning that Quaranteam are going to get first pick again here. First pick has been a big focus for most teams since, well, the inception of Heroes, because statistically it has a very slightly higher win rate. So seeing that picked up here is pretty cool to see. Nice seeing that little bit of flexibility coming in. Alrighty then, we're getting ready to roll very shortly. Just getting the rest of the players in so that we can get this underway. In fact, all the players are in. Caster R. Cursed Caster Pirate. Let's have a quick look at the bracket. I really doubt we've ended any series at this time, but once again, let's have a look at where these teams are going. Once again, it is Quaranteam versus Spooky Ghosts, winner of which will play against We Take These, I believe the #1 seed, if I remember correctly, from Heroic Division going into the playoffs. They were unable to make it all the way to the finals of playoffs, but they did perform incredibly well in League format, which is exactly what Storm Division is. So seeing them popping up here, pretty cool to see, but they're going to be up against Team Ripers. We'll see if they can make their way through. They're running at seed 12. We're going to be finding out who can make it through to the next stage of the bracket. But right now, we are heading into the draft of game number 2 between Quaranteam and Spooky Ghosts. And Quaranteam, in fact, do have first pick, first ban, meaning that they have opted, that Spooky Ghosts opted for map pick and chose Volskaya themselves. Let's get this underway. May has been banned, which I believe she's allowed now because we're out of Season 9. Cool. May is in. I believe Avalanche is banned because it can yeet people out the map, but we do have May. Available, but removed. Feels like Storm League, bruh. It's just going to be taken out. Alrighty then. Let's see how this goes. As right now, next pick is going to be the Zool. Spooky Ghost staying pretty consistent with their bans for the moment. Looking pretty normal for them. Nothing too out of the ordinary for now. Let's see where we go next. It's gonna be Tassadaf as the second ban. It's a very solid pick here. It's just a good hero. Nothing too big, nothing too small. It's just a solid hero, so we're seeing that removed makes a lot of sense. And now, gonna be seeing the last ban. Last time it was Abatha. This is not a, it's gonna be not a Viking. It's gonna be not an Abatha on this map, I would say. In fact, yes, it is the Cassia. Yep, there it is. Big Bird predicting it right before it happens. As we do see the Cassia getting taken away. Nothing surprising there. Just getting removed. No trouble at all. Alrighty. Li Ming. Getting first picked by Carbon this time. Stolen away. Not going to see any of those shenaniganeries. And now then, Quaranteam. How does Spooky Ghost react to that Li Ming first pick? Stealing away the Ana would be a potential pickup here. They don't though. They go for the burst. Look, the Grey Mane coming in here. Ignored last game. Johanna. Excuse me, was their first pick last time. Gonna see it once again. There, of course, immediately there's Ana coming in from Quaranteam. Ana is a very cheeky here, is just an incredible combo of Li Ming. And there's Chen. Now, Chen, of course, gives them a dominant solo lane and makes it very hard for Greymane to get huge value in team fights. And very cool to see. That route with Stormer Fire is going to be incredibly powerful. Set up for Li Ming. Gives them that solo lane power. There are very few heroes who actually beat Chen in lane. That's the fun thing about him. He doesn't win a lot of lanes super hard, but he's really struggled. You really got to struggle to find someone who actually beats him in lane. One of the key ones being potentially Imperious, who might be available here with percentage damage. There goes ETC. Moving that away. ETC Li Ming could have been a very scary setup here. But we still have Garrosh. We still have Blaze. We still have Imperious, as previously mentioned. We have Mal'Ganis. Quite a few options here. Deckard Cain. Banned away when you have someone standing still like Chen. Going to be getting a lot of Ruby value. And of course, Li Ming is a little squishy, having that little bit of burst support. Going to be solid here. Or they could just be trying to bait their opponents into running that newly nerfed Bloodlust composition, which still has power. Even though it's not as powerful as it might have been before, it still has a lot of power behind it. Especially with Greymane on the board. No, though. It's Malfurion, and there is that Imperious. Imperious offlane. One of the heroes who can contest Chen if played correctly. Maiev and Garrosh. Here we go. They are looking to control the fight. Once the fight is started, they are in it. Now, Maiev into Johanna is an interesting one, because Johanna can, of course, pop all of the Warden's Cage sides. So they need to be careful about that. Time it well, but of course, with the Iron Skin being nerfed by reducing that cooldown, increasing that cooldown, going to be in a position where they have to be careful. Final pickup is Medivh. Protection from Li Ming. Check. The ability to frickin' leave the Warden's Cage. Check. Burst protection from anyone who gets Garrosh comboed and a way for them to get away. Check. Leyline Seal set up for Imperius? There's a lot of potential in this team, but I'm struggling to see where the actual end game condition is other than just rush the core and hope to kill everything. Which, to be fair, they have Greymane. That is the potential to do so. The Medivh is sensible here. It's honestly a good setup. It is a decent setup for them, but their burden of execution is a lot harder. They're going to have to actually burst people very effectively with Greymane Imperius in order for this composition to work. Because once they've used that combo, they're kind of out of the fight. They have to just go in, kill, back up, reset. And that's kind of the situation. They don't have longevity in a fight. Whereas on the other side, longevity results in Maiev getting resets and Li Ming, hopefully by Maiev getting resets, being set up for resets of her own. So, let's make it into the game, ladies and gentlemen, as we introduce the team on the left-hand side. Currently 1-0 up in this best-of-3 series. It is going to be Quaranteam with cho'gall going to be playing on the Garrosh, Weary Day on Ana, Unaverted on Maiev, Cookie Man on the Chen with the Oreo color skin, by the way, very effective, and Carbon going to be playing on the Li Ming. Whereas, on the right-hand side, in the orange trunks, it is Spooky Ghosts with Colidus. Going to be playing on the Greymane. Rogoth, or Rufgo? It could be Rowoth, in theory. No, wait, that doesn't work. The H would have to be after. Now on the Johanna, Little Wolf on the Malfurion. We have bot lane being chilled out by Always Loses. And that Medivh is being played by Eric with a K. Let's get this going. Mirada, good to see you streaming and casting. Great job. Thank you, buddy. I've been off for a bit because I got glandular fever. I have also been streaming on the NGS channel a fair amount. Currently, the love of my life, Jixie Cat, is streaming on there. So, if I end up with a gap, I'd 100% recommend going over there and hanging out with her because she's the freaking best. And if I finish first, I'm going to be raiding her. As we currently see the waves being cleared out, let's have a look at these level 1 talents. As no one's going super hard yet. Good sleep dart. Nice little interrupt on the rotation. And Li Ming combo there. There's Burn the Impure. That's what we like to see. Coming in for Imperius, and that's going to allow him to actually take these fights and will combo very, very well with Greymane as the game goes on. Weary Day was thinking about an Ana gank, which is not a common sight, but the potential 100% could have been there. We see the Warbreaker coming in for Garrosh, nothing out of the ordinary there, just wants to get that cooldown reduction, which will give him that armor, that shield later on. With defensive measures. Aether Walker, faster rotations from Li Ming, and good poke damage. Going to be very effective when you want to stay as far away from Imperius as possible. Johanna taking the only viable level 1 talent right now. Hold your ground, because when you increase the key ability on a hero's cooldown, the talent that gives cooldown reduction suddenly becomes really good. Why didn't they understand that with VTC and Johanna when they nerfed their 2 key abilities? And they didn't do anything about the talents that give cooldown reduction to them. That's the only viable pick on some of those now, as we do see the focus onto that support camp currently by Quaranteam. And we do see them picking that up uncontested. Medivh currently up to 4 stacks on Arcane Rift. Eric with a K. Seeing how he can do stab daddy. Gonna be getting some good damage onto Cookie Man, who is currently holding it down here, using his E to try and tank through that. And Always Loses is actually living up to his name in this lane. He's getting kinda bodied here. And he's just going to try and very sensibly defend his undertower. This will help, though. There's Sovereign Armor. 25 armor. That's what we like to see. Loses it immediately, though. Steps back, not wanting to brawl with Chen yet. Meantime, Mercenaries being taken by Quaranteam, not being mirrored by the side of Spooky Ghost. Now we're going to see Greymane heading... Oh, they did it! Oh, I completely missed that. T-Tors, as we see them picking that up. Objective unlocking in 13 seconds to cho'gall and Weary Day. Thinking about seeing if they can pick someone up, but Medivh sees everything. Although, that's a hell of a sleep dart. Anti-heal grenade is so low. Always Loses. Gonna sustain through and port back to base. This does mean that all this XP is gonna crash onto these towers and will not be picked up. That feels awful. Imperius on his way back down. He might get the last 2 minions. 1 tower's already down. Chen actually making it so that there's more of a chance for XP. He actually got the last 3 minions. Good job. Eric with a K comes down because Chen is basically 3 stacks. Unless he kicks you in the face. Makes it a lot less viable as the 3 stacks there. As right now, Channel's up to 57% in favor of Quaranteam right now. And no one's really contesting him. We have the Into the Fray and Indomitable. No surprise changes there. Pretty standard for pretty much everyone across the board. There's Brewmaster's Balance because it's solo lane Chen. Really wants to stay sustained. Carbon looking for someone to blast here, but no such luck yet. And there we go. First Protector. No contested here coming in as we see Garrosh picking that up, and Maiev will get inside. No quests for Maiev, so she's fine. And Garrosh, he's pretty useless sieging. You want Ana in, means that Carbon gets no healing. You put Carbon in, you have no poke. So Garrosh makes the most sense here. Chen also could have been viable, but they would have lost solo lane value, and currently he's just pushing anyway. So that's pretty decent here. God, these two brawling is pretty entertaining to watch, but we'll come back to them in a second, as we do see this tower getting absolutely chonkered here. Taken out nice and easy. Rocket Fist does not land, and here comes the Fountain Focus. If they pick that up, that's value with the Protector. Nicely done. Usually just the Fountain is pretty decent here, but grabbing the towers in mid and top means that they have got about 2 extra towers more than standard value. So already a very successful Protector. Gonna grab some minions with the last couple seconds of it. Always decent value. Medivh, Eric Wiverkay, up to 16 out of 40 stacks on that Arcane Rift. Gonna play it a little safer here, as Maiev and Garrosh need to be a little careful. They have stepped up quite a bit, and Johanna is popping up to say hi. They would like Unaverti, but cho'gall was in a wonderful position to use his body to protect Unaverted here, who'll get some pretty solid resets. Look at that damage. Luden's Wrath as well. Very nice to see here. Always loses. Gonna make sure that no one's invading his team's camp. Portal comes out, proceeds to be used by Malfurion. We are seeing Raven Familiar, by the way, in Portal Mastery and Arcane Explosion. Nothing unusual there. And we're seeing Quicksilver Bullets for the Greymane. The safety build coming out. There's the sensible pickup here. I was going to mention this earlier, but we do see the Containment Disc. Now, it's not the best talent in the world, but honestly, rip. Oh no, that's the stacks. It was Medivh as Eric Wiverkay picked off here with the combo. They burnt Taunt for it to guarantee the pickup. It was Containment Disc into Taunt. Great combo. Nicely done. Carbon rolls in to say hello and interrupt this. His team is right here, actually. They're just going to move in. It's a 4v3. They're just going to take this. Medivh's going to come in, but he's not going to be here in time. Just stolen. Just stolen. They're just going to back that up. Nicely done. But yeah, the Containment Disc means that Johanna isn't just going to be able to Warden's Cage the way through it. Otherwise, they'd actually have to worry about the timings of it and make sure that they got it right every time, or Johanna will completely shut it down. And also the fact that Medivh can portal out of it. With Warden's Cage, they always have a permanent setup to try and isolate someone, or remove that extra healing output or that protection from the Medivh here, as we do see level 10 on the side for Spooky Ghost as well. The other bonus here is we do see the barrel coming in, Wandering Keg. Now, obviously Storm of Fire is really good, but what is the actual lethal potential of killing Cookie Man here? It is a perfect combo of Greymane and Imperius, and even so, that doesn't guarantee a kill onto Cookie Man. So the barrel is going to give him a lot more value onto heroes like Medivh and onto Malfurion, who he might be able to pick up in the backline. And here it comes. They're going to try and grab Imperius with it, but Imperius, he's holding. The barrel does do damage, and he's just going to kick him in the head. You can see the damage comes out too hard. He's going to die here. The 1-for-1 trade, the disrespect coming in, and pays for it. Nice to see, fun to see there. That was aggressive. But there's the value here. Chen really going to be looking for those backline heroes now. And that's exactly what he can do. There's also a lot of crowd control, which could interrupt him if he did go for Storm of Fire, which means he could be in trouble. Mouth is way too far up. Twilight Dream interrupted. The taunt saved for the end there. They have no... Everyone has items. They can't pick it up. They finally drop a turret so they can steal the support camp. They also could have tried to wait for Cookie Man so that he could get it, but they just dropped the turret and use it to guarantee themselves that middle fort. But... that feel when you kill your opponent so hard that you don't have enough room to take their item, as Carbon is going to bully Eric. Dodges and makes it out. Nice portal, Eric Wiverkay. escaping there. Proficient Medivh player. Really showing his stripes here. Earning those wings. Meantime, Cookie Man continues to just push bot lane. Doing what he can. Medivh sees everything that's going on up in top lane. Right now, Maiev is having some fun interactive gameplay. Beautiful. You can also see that she currently has her tether up. Going to be waiting to try and land that one. Yep, that's just going to keep happening. Nothing they can do about it. Garrosh is real far up. Just going to use Indomitable to escape there. They ley line onto Carbon, but they can't get it. They're just going to try and pick up the Garrosh here. Rue comes down. They dodge the containment disc. Twilight Dream's decent, but Carbon is in the backline. He's just going to easily get Little Wolf here. No worries. Garrosh will die in exchange, but here comes the barrel. Stacks have been destroyed again, but there's the nano boost. Hrofgar taken out, and that just leaves Kolidos. He's got nowhere to run. Imperius knows. He just ditches him, just like, you know what? Yeah. Just gonna go soak XP, buddy. We can't fight this. They back it up. Maya finishes a fun interactive gameplay and gets in the Rock'em Sock'em. I'm gonna be taking that to start working on keeps. Mid lane already weakened a little bit here. Sorry, top lane a little bit weakened. Mid lane is weakened, but not much. Not really noticeable. Bot lane is still pushing. A lot of value coming in there. They're going to roll in with Maiev and Ana. Now they're in a situation where they can just put Ana in the Protector because Garrosh is not available. So let's make sure that Ana can't be burst down and picked up as level 13 is now hit, just as level 16 is hit for Quaranteam. Going to try and take out Shen, but there's the barrel. He says nope, and he's going to roll on out. Carbon also backs away just as always loses, is unable to land that spear. That spear had landed, then he wouldn't be able to teleport away and would be gone. And that is the risk that we do see when you're playing against a complex spooky ghost, because their burst potential is absolutely terrifying. And that is how they win the game. They really do just have to land these spears. Always loses, has all the pressure on them. So we can see Cookie Man focusing down. 13 stacks on Medivh. Rocket Punch. Kolidos makes it out. Man, really trying to pile on the pressure. You can see that percentage damage from Always Loses. The spear is good. Where's Greymane? The curse bullet. They don't dive. They don't follow up with the immediate with the burst there. Teleport was good. Medivh is going to lose his stacks. Feels terrible. And here comes the barrel, just not making Little Wolf out of there. There was a tiny little gap, but the barrel pushed him this way instead of this way, meaning that the body had to go somewhere. It went that way and forced him out. Bless Shield comes out, but Greymane goes out, as he is absolutely destroyed by the combo of Carbon following up on that sleep dart. So deadly, especially now that we do see Mirror Ball online for Li Ming. Even more burst potential combined with Aether Walker means a little bit 10% extra on each missile. Gonna back away. A lot of shots coming in this top lane, a lot of focus. Camp's gonna be stolen away. And with a level and a half before level 16, Spooky Ghosts are not in a position to fight anytime soon. They are just going to be zoned and controlled. And we're going to have a lot of trouble. Eric with a K back down to 0 stacks. And you can see how this game's going because Garrosh is only up to 10 stacks of Warbreaker. He's just not been able to get combos because they've been killing people so fast. And a lot of that has been due to Ana, who has been landing her sleep darts. Fortification camp being taken by Quaranteam. A little bit of extra pressure being grabbed down there. They're looking good. Imperius now has Divine Rage. Getting that cooldown on Molten Armor because he is the person who has to carry this team. It's up to him. A little bit of protection here with Enduring Will. That is going to help a lot. 4-second cooldown reduction on that Force of Will is where we can get the play to come in. Medivh gaining vision, looking good. Keeping the eye out. And I will say, considering that this is a heroic division team, the highest level of play in NGS, versus a Division B team, they are putting up a really solid fight, considering how rough this is, though. Li Ming, considering the division difference between the two teams, Spooky Ghosts are doing good, but that doesn't mean they're doing good in this game. They are playing their hearts out, but Quaranteam have an amazing comp that they're playing beautifully and are just shutting down every attempt by Spooky Ghosts. And they're looking for more here, unaverted. Seeing if we can pick anyone up. They have enough minions to finish off 2 keeps in 1 push here before the 3rd control point is even active. And right now, this is looking very shaky for Spooky Ghosts. They're just going to try and finish this off. They clean up this top lane, protecting their core. And taking control. In the meantime, bot lane being opened up. Clearing out the entire wall there, opening up the keep so that when we see the rabbits, they're going to just try and crush through the keep. Or go for core. 1-man lane line. The hope is there. They don't land the blast. Is the tether torn to barrel? And Li Ming like shooting ghosts in a barrel. Just absolutely destroys everyone with the combo. Ana interrupts the pawn. She's going for the 1v1. I know the game's ending, but she's gonna win the 1v1 versus Johanna. Weary Day takes out Joe, and they make their way onto core. Ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be game number 2. Rocket Punch value from the core. That is gonna be game number 2 and the series going over to Quaranteam. They will pick that up and they will move on to the next round in the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division Qualifier number 1. What a performance by Quaranteam at the end there. The single frame that the Blessed Shield came out. Where is it? There it is. The single frame that the Blessed Shield came out before the ley line had expired, meaning that there was no stun, meaning that it didn't bounce to heroes like Maiev, who got a 4-man tether, setting up an insane little play. Wow. What a performance. The multi-man tether. Honestly, I don't even think barrel was super necessary there, but Li Ming just blinks in, gets resets, and picks up all the kills. Very, very nicely done by Quaranteam. They make their way on to the next stage of the bracket. Speaking of the bracket, let's have a look at what we have going on over there. So as a reminder, we are only doing round 1 and 2 today, so Quaranteam will be moving on to the next round, where they will be playing against the winner of We Take These versus Team Ripers. We'll see if they are able to make their way in. But what a performance. We don't have any updates on the bracket. Let me quickly refresh it to see if we do have anything. I have it to auto-refresh, but we'll make sure. At least I'll try to. Is there a way I can just force a refresh? Refresh the page. Boom! Okay, so yeah, we don't have anything up to date yet. We don't have any additional results. That wombo was nasty. Beautifully done by Quaranteam. Very well deserved. So we also have some solid matchups here. You can see VGM got super lucky with their bye. 4G Sports and no U-Tank, who used to be I Won't Tank Unless Subpoenaed, but their name was too long. They're playing, and the winner of that will play against the winner of our next series. At the bottom, and currently on the main NGS channel, we have CPOGX Fan Club versus Hot Potato. Winner of that will be playing against He's Literally Won and Brawl is Life. And then we have Team Alexander, again, the Korean team, rolling in here. Koreans versus Americans. And there is Resurgence of the Storm. And then Regen versus New Game Plus. Looks good. Alrighty. While I quickly adjust the overlay so that you guys can, so that I can prepare for the next match. While we wait to see who makes it through. I hope everyone's enjoying the show. If you are enjoying the show, then I would request that maybe you leave a donation. Maybe you leave a like. Maybe you leave a sub. A like? How did I get a like? Maybe you follow. Maybe you follow so you can see when I go live. Maybe you drop a, like I said, maybe you drop a sub. Those would be appreciated. Anything like that would be very appreciated. So that you can support me, because the more donations and stuff I get, the more likely it is I'm going to be able to keep this going. Because, like I said, more value I get, more money I get, from these streams, the more I can do them, because I don't have to go out and get a job once this pandemic is over, or at least I don't have to go and work at a supermarket and burn all my energy. So any of the help is appreciated, any donations, always appreciated, but for now, we're going to head to a break until I can find out who our next opponents are, or if I can get into game number 3 of the other series that's happening right now, because no one's casting that one. So I'm going to see if we can jump into that, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with the winner of our next series versus Quaranteam right after this short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. See you in a bit.